Hello again. So, we're returning to the theme of the three classes of men, starting with the first one, the elect. Now, the story coming up is best explained really through Blake's own concise explanation of fourfold vision. So, bear with me for a moment while I read this out. Um, in a letter to Thomas Butts, he writes, "Now I a fourfold vision see, and a fourfold vision is given to me. 'Tis fourfold in my extreme delight, and threefold in soft Beulah's night, and twofold always. May God us keep from single vision and Newton's sleep." That's Isaac Newton. Um, so let's think about London, how it can be perceived in different ways. Let's think of one of those ways as Golgonoosa, where the world can be saved through art. What we're going to see now is two different ways of looking at this. There's a problem in Golgonoosa, and there's also a problem on Earth. Both are just two ways of looking at the same issue. The text, of course, explains it from the Golgonoosa point of view. From the point of view of what's going on in ordinary life, it's Blake who has been given a new home, actually. Beautiful home in the country, away from London, that Blake thought he would really enjoy. The poet Hayley gave it to him. Hayley was well respected, but as things went along, um, Blake felt that his art was being threatened to be more mainstream. That's where Hayley wanted him to go. So in this, it will really help to look on Hayley as the mild-mannered Satan, to look on Blake as poor Palamabron, and the gnomes are all the people that these two men have in common, friends and fellow artists, and how the tension between Blake and Hayley spills over into their company. But of course, you can guess Blake is not going to be tempted. He's going to continue to be Palamabron riding those horses because that's his mission in life. Of the first class was Satan, with incomparable mildness, his primitive tyrannical attempts on Los, with most endearing love he soft entreated Los to give him Palamabron's station. For Palamabron returned with labour wearied every evening. Palamabron oft refused, and as often Satan offered his service, till by repeated offers and repeated entreaties, Los gave to him the harrow of the Almighty. Alas, blamable Palamabron feared to be angry lest Satan should accuse him of ingratitude, and Los believed the accusation through Satan's extreme mildness. Satan laboured all day. It was 1,000 years. In the evening returning, terrified, overlaboured, and astonished, embraced soft with a brother's tears Palamabron, who also wept. Mark well my words, they are of your eternal salvation. Next morning Palamabron rose. The horses of the harrow were maddened with tormenting fury, and the servants of the harrow, the gnomes, accused Satan with indignation, fury, and fire. Then Palamabron, reddening like the moon in an eclipse, spoke, saying, "You know Satan's mildness and his self-imposition, seeming a brother, being a tyrant, even thinking himself a brother while he is murdering the just. Prophetic I behold his future course through darkness and despair to eternal death. But we must not be tyrants also. He hath assumed my place for one whole day, under pretence of pity and love to me. My horses hath he maddened, and my fellow servants injured. How should he, know the duties of another? O foolish forbearance! Would I had told Los all my heart. But patience, O my friends, all may be well. Silent remain, while I call Los and Satan. Loud as the wind of Beulah that unroots the rocks and hills, Palamabron called. And Los and Satan came before him. And Palamabron showed the horses and the servants. Satan wept, and mildly cursing Palamabron, him accused of crimes himself had wrought. Los trembled. Satan's blandishments almost persuaded the prophet of eternity that Palamabron was Satan's enemy, and that the gnomes, being Palamabron's friends, were leagued together against Satan through ancient enmity. What could Los do? How could he judge, when Satan self believed that he had not oppressed the horses at the harrow, nor the servants? So Los said, Henceforth, Palamabron, let each his own station keep, nor in pity false, nor in officious brotherhood, where none needs be active. Meantime Palamabron's horses raged with thick flames redundant, and the harrow maddened with fury. Trembling Palamabron stood, the strongest of demons trembled. Curbing his living creatures, many of the strongest gnomes they bit in their wild fury, who also maddened like wildest beasts. Mark well my words, they are of your eternal salvation. So I think this sub-story is about as unexpected, perhaps, in a poem about Milton as, say, the poem Jerusalem. But nonetheless, all these things serve to help us understand the basic characters in Milton's mythology. Everything is going to help. And if these are understood now in Milton, well, then they can be carried over into so much of the other works. So for that reason, I think it's worth it. So I'll stop now till next time, and thank you for listening. Bye bye.